A chaotic scene at a Walmart today left one person dead and two hurt. It began when a police officer gave Narcan to a man overdosing in a car. But when he came to, he stepped on the gas, hitting the officer and another person before he was shot and killed. Good evening and thanks for watching. I'm Devin Bartolotta. First responders administer Narcan hundreds of thousands of times a year. It works by blocking the effects of the drug, but sometimes those it's used on can come back in a daze, often angry, scared, or aggressive. Tonight, Rachel Hanley shows us how an effort to reduce harm could have ended like this.
Friday's tragedy started with an officer's attempt to help. She leaned into a man's car to give him the overdose reversal drug Narcan.
And as your body responds very quickly to resuming breathing and resuming a heart rate, you will sometimes jolt.
And that's what happened. He sped off from the parking lot of the Walmart on Tchoupitoulas, dragging the officer from the car. He hit a person and two other cars. Then the officer shot him and he crashed.
If the person's opioid dependent, person could end up waking up agitated, confused, nauseous, sweating, maybe they'll vomit. And that's because you're putting them into withdrawal.
Dr. Smita Prasad is the medical director of Long Branch Recovery, an addiction treatment center on the North Shore. She administers Narcan regularly and says a reaction like the man's is not uncommon.
Some tolerate it just fine and, are try to be as pleasant as possible, and others really just get agitated and irritable.
Friday, the head of the New Orleans Police and Justice Foundation highlighted this as an example of the dangers officers face.
Any situation can turn in a split second from something that seems very safe and simple to something that in fact is quite dangerous.
And Narcan is used a lot. The most recent data we have on this is from 2020 to 2022. In that period, EMS workers in the U.S. administered Narcan more than 700,000 times. That works out to an average of more than 1,000 times per day. Of course, the vast majority of those situations do not end up the way Friday's did. Dr. Prasad says she's still glad to know the officer tried to help.
It's a really tragic situation, but I can't help someone if they're overdosed and dead. So I really appreciate this officer's attempt to at least give this gentleman, another chance at life and recovery.
Even if, sadly, that chance was lost. Rachel Hanley, WWL, Louisiana.
The officer in this case was taken to the hospital. Last we heard, she was stable. NOPD has not identified her yet or said exactly what the nature of her injuries are. We also don't know the condition of the bystander who was hit.